For 20 years, they called TNA Wrestling the cockroach of professional wrestling, a company that survived death 1,000 times, but never truly lived. While the giants of the industry sold out stadiums, TNA was fighting just to keep the lights on. They became the industry's punchline, a brand defined by missed opportunities and budget cuts. But in 2026, the punchline ends. The AMC deal isn't just a contract, it is a shot at a resurrection. For the first time in a decade, the sleeping giant has woken up. But money alone doesn't build an empire. To rise from the ashes, TNA needs a plan. This is the blueprint for the resurrection. The fall of TNA began when the original stars left. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode. They didn't leave because they wanted to. They left because they had to. For years, with a survival budget, they found diamonds in the rough, polished them, and watched them leave for a bigger paycheck. To rise in 2026, that mentality must die. Anthem Sports, TNA Wrestling's owners, must hand the company a war chest. This year, it isn't about finding the next star. It is about paying the current ones. Yes, retention is the new recruitment. TNA don't want another Joe Hendry or Jordan Grace situation to happen in the AMC era. Otherwise, the resurrection would be over before it begins. It's not about just keeping the talent, though. It's also about attracting it. If TNA can sign just one major free agent in the first quarter of 2026, it would send shockwaves through the industry. It tells every wrestler on the planet that TNA is no longer a stepping stone, it is a destination. There was a time when TNA Wrestling had two shows. Impact was the flagship show, but Explosion was the heartbeat. It showcased the X Division, the knockouts, and international talent that made TNA unique. But as budgets shrank, Explosion became a recap show, and then it vanished entirely. It returned on the TNA app recently, but faces many of the same problems as it did before, as it being used as a recap show again. In 2026, it's time to bring back the heartbeat, but not as a recap show, not as a YouTube exclusive, but put Explosion on the AMC streaming app. Make it TNA's second high-octane show dedicated to the future stars and the forgotten divisions. This does two things. First, it drives subscriptions to AMC Plus, making TNA a revenue generator, not just a content provider. Second, it gives your roster more screen time without bloating the main show. More matches, more storylines, more reasons to tune in. This is how you build a wrestling universe, not just a wrestling show. 4 pay-per-views a year. That's what TNA has been running on for the past decade, and it's killing them. When you have 3 to 4 month gaps between major events, storylines lose steam, feuds fizzle out, and fans forget why they cared. In 2026, this needs to move to a bi-monthly schedule. 6 major events, bigger stages, brighter lights, and faster storytelling. With AMC's backing, these shows need to look major league. No more dark arenas, no more. We'll do our best with what we have. The production value needs to scream, we belong here. Because momentum is everything in wrestling. You can't build it with 4 shows a year, but with 6, you create a rhythm. Fans know when to expect the next big moment. Wrestlers stay hot, storylines stay fresh, and this is how you capitalize on a brand new TV deal. Although TNA runs premium events in between the pay-per-views, it isn't the same, as these events are often held in smaller venues and used to set up the next pay-per-view event when they could be used for so much more. Also, these events would only be available readily on the TNA app and a few smaller outlets in international markets. So, by removing these events and using Impact and Explosion to build to the matches at the pay per views, it streamlines the booking, ensuring every episode of weekly TV is used to its maximum potential. For 2 decades, TNA Wrestling has been defined by what it wasn't. It wasn't WWE. It wasn't WCW. It wasn't big enough. But in 2026, all that ends. The AMC deal is the opportunity of a lifetime. But opportunity without execution is just another headline. Money, media, momentum. That is the master plan. If Anthem opens the checkbook, if Explosion returns with purpose, and if the pay-per-view schedule accelerates, then 2026 isn't just another year. It's the year TNA stopped surviving and started thriving. Do you think Anthem will pull the trigger? Who is the one free agent TNA Wrestling must sign in 2026? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want to see more about TNA Wrestling's resurrection, subscribe to Sudden Impact, the premier destination for news and stories about TNA Wrestling. And we'll see you next time.